coaches or motor coaches. And we have Tom Holden from Bus Advisors that's going to tell you a little bit more about the bus industry and what it might take to get into it. Tom, come on up and tell us. Thank you, Tom.
Good morning. All right, good morning. Some of you probably don't know who I am, but I'm Tom Holden, and the last 16 years I've had the opportunity of being one of the key players of Rose Chauffeur Transportation and Rose Charters in Charlotte, North Carolina. Over 16 years we grew that company very well. We actually bought our first motor coach when the recession was hitting, and people looked at you, what are you doing? Well, it was the most ingenious thing we ever did. We built that company up to 23 motor coaches, 15 minibuses, and ultimately took that company to about a $10 million figure. Now, 16 years into it, in the last 4 years or so, I've had the opportunity of speaking at LCT panel in Las Vegas and Atlantic City. I also write some articles. I have the privilege of writing some articles for the magazine, and I've had this burning desire inside to be able to help more people because I see a need for it. I see a lot of people just struggling. You have a need, you want to buy a bus, but you don't know the first thing about it, or you've bought them and you're not making much money, right? So what I've decided to do is create a firm that's called Bus Advisors, and this firm, there's a couple of us involved in it. Keith Johnson is a DOT consultant for the firm. He's got 30 years experience in the market. He's worked for Reston Limousine for the last 9 years. Reston is a client of Bus Advisors, right? So Keith's available to go out to anybody's office, do pre-audit inspections for you, work with you over the telephone, and we have multiple plans for you to get involved in. Art Messina is part of it, some sales and marketing strategies, and obviously myself, on my card I call myself a business guru. But I don't know it all. Nobody knows it all. Last month I just learned something brand new that I never heard of in 16 years, and I happened to be able to save somebody $12,000 on the decision that they were getting ready to make. So things change, just as Uber has changed your world, we are changing the motor coach industry's world. We are disrupting their market, and they don't like that, okay? And their biggest thing about it, because I've asked them several times, why do you treat us, our industry, as a red-headed stepchild? And their answer is because you do it better than we do, okay? So you have a perfect opportunity of getting involved. How many in here own vans? I would assume everybody has a van in their fleet, yeah? Minibuses, okay? You've been in the bus business already. It's just the passenger capacity. Yeah, it's a different beast, and it's a lot more expensive. But it's a passenger capacity, and you are in the business to move people. I wrote an article for the magazine recently that said you should match your bus to your client. Not necessarily do you need a $200,000 minibus to do this type of work, right? And so that's what we're going to help you do. We're going to help you make smarter decisions, increase your bottom line profits, maybe downsize you. That might have to happen sometimes, right? It's not all about the quantity of tin that you have in the garage. Upgrading, negotiating, getting better deals, negotiating with insurance companies. I saved a company in New York $10,000 with a simple phone call, because most insurance companies won't allow you to do what you think you should be able to do. So that's kind of what I did. And so Bus Advisors is an opportunity for you. To give you an example, on DOT consulting side of it, for as little as $89 a month, you get 2 hours of talk time with Keith Johnson. That's not bad at all. That's having the best guy in the industry in your back pocket. You can call him for 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever the case may be. And if it's something very serious, he can come to your facility and we can talk about those costs, right? The other thing we decided to do, Arthur Messina, you know him, is in driving results groups that he has. He had come to me about a year ago and he said, I'd like to be able to put a bus group together, but he would like me to be the educator. And so when I made the decision to do this Bus Advisors group, I made the decision to do that at the exact same time. What we've done is we're forming a 20 group together of companies that have minibuses and motor coaches, one or the other, it doesn't matter. Upwards of 10 is what we're looking for, or more. and we'll do 3 meetings a year. Those 3 meetings are going to be held at the manufacturer's facilities. So our first meeting is going to be in April. That's going to happen right in Orlando at the ABC Von Hool facility. We're going to have 3 days of education right there in their facility. They'll be a main player in that topic, but we're going to bring in other vendors of the products, not other bus vendors. Other vendors of products that you really need to consider on what you're doing, how you're doing it, insurance companies, whatever. You're going to have 3 days of pure education. Your cost is simply getting there and paying for the hotel. Everything else has been covered, okay? So that's something, if you want to see us about that on the show floor or call out to Arthur, we have that available. So basically that's what Bus Advisors is, and you know, it's an exciting business. It was very rewarding to take the company and grow them into 23 motor coaches, and I strongly suggest keep your eyes and your minds open, and when the timing is right, it's the best thing for you to do. As he was just talking about farming out motor coaches, that's what we did. Before we bought our first motor coach, we were farming out $250,000 a year, right? We bought our first one. And there's formulas and systems you can go after, but once you get in it, you'll buy more, trust me.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.